Good evening and welcome to the 2019 Montgomery College Athletic Awards Banquet. I'm Michael Brown from Montgomery College Television, and we are here to celebrate another outstanding year for MC student athletes. And we are here to honor the student athletes, the coaches, and all the staff who help make it possible. We are also here to celebrate our first year, our first successful full season at the higher division level, D1 and D2 both. Now, we may have been the new kid on the block this year, our first year at these levels, but man, did you guys perform. In some ways, it was a season of adjustments, but we weren't intimidated at all by the new neighborhood. Our athletes made a strong statement this year. You made a lot of other schools sit up and take notice. And once again, you showed that you are truly a fine group of student athletes. You worked hard, you played hard, and you represented Montgomery College, as always, with dignity, good sportsmanship, and class. So congratulations. I do want to take a moment for a personal aside. I want to thank everyone here in this room. As some of you may know, the last few months have been particularly difficult for myself and my family, but the support and frankly the love that I have received from many of you here in this room has helped me get through it. And even though most of our athletes don't know what was going on, the mere fact that I was able to get out there and cover your games and report on your successes really helped me more than you can imagine. The joy I get from watching MC student athletes in action has been very healing. It helped me feel normal. And so I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. Now, thanks for indulging me for that. We need to get this thing rolling, because as always, we have a very full agenda with a lot of awards. So, without further ado, it is my pleasure to welcome maybe the fiercest Raptors fan I know, the president of Montgomery College, Dr. Darian Pollard.
So why don't y'all give it up for Mike again, because he is the unofficial and official voice of MC Raptors and athletics. And I have to say that he does love our athletics program. He is a fierce advocate, whether he is in front of me or in other people. He is always lifting up this program. So thank you, Mike, for everything that you do on behalf of athletics. Let me give it up for you all, because I am constantly amazed by our student athletes, and you all are tremendous here at Montgomery College for a lot of different reasons. Now, Mike offered half of my comments already, so I'm just going to say a few things. This event isn't about me, it's about you all, and it's about the tremendous work you all do in and off of the court and field and all the different places that you play. Here's a couple things that I know for sure. I'm amazed, and I think this video screen that's going above me speaks to some of this. Where I have been most impressed with our athletics program this year, certainly when we've moved up in divisions and you all have worked hard, tremendously hard, and a lot of work there, what I will also say is that you all have been willing to show up off the court, off the field, in different places. So when we are in front of the county council, you all have been there in your gear. When we've had legislative breakfasts, you've been there. Various events, you've done fundraisers, you've done other events for those in our community who most need us. And that, to me, is a sign of student leaders. The idea that you recognize that you have the opportunity to use this gift, this talent that you have, and use it in advance of someone else. And that, to me, speaks so much about the type of people that you are. So thank you for what you've done to bring Raptor Athletics, Montgomery College into the community, and reminding the community who we are and what we do. I also want to congratulate you for your academic achievements. I'm sure your AD will tell you in lots. I am a huge believer in what athletics can do. I know that it is a gateway for so many students to come to Montgomery College and to pursue an academic career. But what I also know, and your coaches know this, and Dr. Brown hears about this all the time, we talk about it, the idea that you all are student athletes. That we recognize that academic achievement is not only something that we expect, it's something that we demand. And what I find to be particularly grateful for is that you all have been doing that. I was looking at some numbers before I came in here. We have 6 of our athletes who've earned a perfect 4.0 GPA this year. That says something. I'm also going to say we have 39 of our athletes who have a GPA of 3.0 or better. That deserves applause. I will also tell you that you all outpace, in many cases, traditional non-athlete students at Montgomery College in terms of GPA and performance. So for that, I want to say thank you and to keep it up. The last thing I'll say as I sit down, you all have inspired me personally as well, because I watch, you all have done your students, your athletes, you are taking care of your bodies, you're doing all kinds of great things, so you inspire me to make sure that I do that as well. So I want to thank you for what you do for our students, your colleagues, what you do for us as an institution, advancing the name of the college and the community, but most of all, thank you for what you're doing for yourselves. And education is something that no one can ever take from you. People will try. There are going to be days when you're not going to be able to run as fast as you can run now. You're not going to be able to hit as hard as you hit. But what they can never take from you is what's in your head and what's in your brain, and that's your education. So you want to complete at Montgomery College, and you need to go on and do what you want to do after that. We're proud to have you here, and thank you all so much for letting us be a part of your journey at Montgomery College.
Thank you, Dr. Pollard. As Dr. Pollard mentioned, we have had another great year academically. As everybody in this room knows, what you do on the field and on the courts isn't going to happen if you don't make the grades. And it's no secret, obviously, that athletic success and academic success go hand in hand. And MC had another very strong year. So at this time, we want to recognize the outstanding academic achievements by our student athletes. First, we want to recognize those students who achieved a 3.0 GPA or higher in the fall 2018 semester. Obviously, the grades for the spring semester are not finalized yet. So please stand as I call your name and remain standing until I've run through the list so that we can salute your success. For women's soccer, Yasu Peralta, 3.0. Delmi Perez, 3.23. Gabriela Fernandez, 3.0. Maggie Prokop, 3.50. Ashley Zambrano, 3.50. Elise Couturier, 3.54. Mackenzie Hook, 3.50. And Maya Burris, 3.33. Men's soccer, Xavier Dora, 3.75. Kenny Fuentes, 3.0. Nelson Meza, 3.25. And Daniel Tashani, 3.77. Volleyball, Anya Chepernova, 3.69. Virginia Astorga, 3.75. Isabel Nelligan, 3.57. Kishana Phoenix, 3.60. Skylar Thiessen, 3.54. Katura Gregory, 3.75. and Chanel Sanford, 3.0. Men's basketball, Guy Claude, 3.31. Women's basketball, Kennedy Cross, 3.35. Alexis Mack, 3.82. Yekta Kamali, 3.43. Destiny Batts, 3.35. Jordon Odom, 3.0. And Princess Campbell, 3.31. Baseball, Connor Brady, 3.0. Unfortunately, baseball is not here tonight. Ryan Bolin, 3.38. Brendan Grass, 3.59. Christopher Coakley, 3.54. And Jacob Thompson, 3.54. Softball, Catherine Domers, 3.23. Delmy again, 3.23. Sally Morales, 3.67. Mary Puig, 3.53. And Samantha Nelson, 3.08. And then track. Track is not here tonight also. They're competing at University of Maryland. Erin Tucker, 3.43. And for the women's team, Kiana Johnson, 3.54. And Stacy Bassamera, 3.50. Congratulations to all these outstanding student athletes. And as Dr. Pollard also mentioned, we have a handful of 4.0 student athletes, which is quite frankly amazing. Considering the time that you devote to the sport and the time it takes to earn a 4.0, that's really doing some work. For baseball, Sean Sullivan, 4.0. Men's soccer, Edward Tracy, 4.0. And come on up, all you 4-point guys, folks, come on up. Ned, come on up. Edwin Ramirez, 4.0. Volleyball, E. Katarina Tao, 4.0. Women's basketball, Lauren Nelson, 4.0. And for women's track, Anna Sohn, 4.0. Wave to the man with the camera. Congratulations. So those of you not keeping count, that's 45 athletes who earned at least a 3.0 or higher. That's pretty amazing. I'll tell you what, I'll stack that up against anybody in Maryland JUCO, anybody in Region 20. I don't think anybody touches us in that category. I just don't. And then we had a special award ceremony on the Germantown campus the other day. Or actually, I think it was earlier today, Anya told me. Two of our student athletes at Germantown were named as the outstanding student scholar athletes on campus. Anya Chepernova from volleyball. And Toshiki Abaraki from the baseball team. I'm glad he's not here to hear me blow that, but anyway. They were both recently named today the outstanding scholar athletes on the Germantown campus. So a big congratulations to both of them. And a side note, women's basketball had the highest fall semester GPA of 2.85 and a cumulative GPA of 3.0. Volleyball was right behind with a fall GPA of 2.81 and a cumulative of 2.93. And of course, the spring teams, the teams that only compete in the spring, they can't be compared because, again, their grades are not finalized yet. So, before we start dinner, we're almost ready. I know we have some hungry young folks out there. I do want to take a moment to acknowledge and thank certain people, some very important people, for being here with us tonight. They are very important to us, they are very important to the program, and we appreciate your ongoing support of Montgomery College Athletics. Obviously, Dr. Pollard, Dana Baker, I don't see Arlene Blaylock. Colette Brown, is Colette here? I don't see Colette. Dr. Monica Brown. Beverly Coleman. Jerome, better known as Romy Fleming. Catherine Goldstein. I don't see Melissa Gregory. Gregory Enlow is here. Dr. Sanjay Rai is here. Edith Johnson. Edith Johnson is here. Dr. Margaret Latimer is here. Mark Levine is there. Tanya Mason is here. Janie McFadden, is she here? I don't see her. I don't see Keith McElphin. Dr. Clemmy Solomon is here. And Marcella Carr, the chair of counseling, is here. I also want to recognize some of the staff from athletics. Sherry Issam, Carrie Steele-Loy, Bailey Hill, Christy Voigt, Mr. Michael Simone, where's he hiding? Over there in the corner. George Zuniga, and Elliot Headley. I don't know why you're on the list, but you are. He thought I left you off the list, Dr. Latimer. He wasn't listening. All right, so once again, thank you very much for being here. We really appreciate your support for Montgomery College Athletics. We really do. All right, it's time for dinner. And we're going to go in order of the teams as you play. So we're going to start in the fall, and we'll start it off with women's soccer and men's soccer and volleyball. So you guys go, fill your plates, and then we'll call the other teams. All right. I hope everybody enjoyed their dinner. It was very delicious. Thank you very much. And now it's time to meet all the MC coaches and our teams. We're going to go by season, beginning with the fall semester. And when I start to talk about your team, please everybody stand so that we can recognize you while I sing your praises. All right? Up first, women's soccer. Now, keep in mind that both of our soccer teams competed in D1 this year, because at the moment, there is no D2 in NJCAA soccer. I believe that may be changing, but I haven't heard that definitively. I just heard a rumor. But as of this season, they had to play at the D1 level. But despite that, both of these teams had a very successful fall season, starting with women's soccer. Now, they dropped their first 2 matches of the season. Then they proceeded to reel off 12 straight wins. Which is pretty remarkable when you consider that they had a pretty small team. They were kind of short on numbers. As a matter of fact, I kind of like to call them the little team that could. And could they ever? They scored 104 goals in just 15 games, while holding opponents to a 1.4 goals against average. Looking at you, Delmy. And among those 12 straight wins was a 5-1 shellacking of D1 Essex in the Region 20 semifinals. They owned them that night, folks. They owned them. And even though they fell short 4-2 in the regional finals to that team from up north, Hartford, they gave them a great match. They gave Hartford everything they wanted. So in their first year at the D1 level, they finished 12-3 overall. They won the Maryland JUCO Championship, and they finished second in the region. That is tremendous. And after the season, naturally, they took home some really outstanding honors. For all region, Ariella Amagwana, Viviana Rodriguez, Gabriela Fernandez, and Maggie Prokop all made first team. All made first team. All Maryland JUCO, Ariella Amagwana and Viviana Rodriguez both made first team. Gabriela Fernandez made second team, and Maggie Prokop made honorable mention, all Maryland JUCO. So congratulations on a really fine season. Here's their head coach, Phil Nana.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for everybody coming out to join us and celebrating the athletes tonight. The women's season, it's tough handling 13 college females. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, what can I say about the season? They did incredible. It's crazy once you change your perspective. I ended up learning a lot more from these ladies than I was able to teach them. We try to pride ourselves in turning players into collegiate athletes, teaching them how to play soccer, helping them in school, but what we end up doing is turning great individuals into role models and the future of essentially our country. So I'm super proud of these girls, and I'm even proud of our MVP because she was able to come in, had a great freshman year, kind of struggled with the academics her second year, but she stuck through, she worked really hard, and came in this year and actually led us in scoring. A lot of those 104 goals was testament to her. She did a really good job of leading the team and showing her experience, and I'm super proud of her, and I'm sorry to see her go because I won't be able to coach such a great athlete anymore, but I'm super happy that she's leaving an even better person. So our MVP, Ariella Amagwana.
Congratulations, Ariella, and to the women's soccer team. Now let's talk men's soccer. And they had a spectacular season. There's no other word for it. They finished 21-3 overall. They scored 120 goals in 24 games, averaging 5 a match. That's amazing. They went undefeated in Maryland JUCO, winning the Maryland JUCO championship with a record of 11-0. And they knocked off Catonsville 3-1 in the Region 20 semifinals, which put them in the finals against Essex. Now, they lost to Essex 3-2 in overtime. Anybody who saw that game knows that there was a call at the end of that game, or should I say a no call at the end of that game, that probably cost them. I'm not making any excuses here, folks. I've got it on video. You want to see it? I'll show it to you. Right, Trey? You know the play I'm talking about. All right. But despite that, despite that tough loss, it was a great season, and of course they shared or enjoyed a ton of postseason awards. So, all region, Yunus Ben Muna, Daniel Juresic, and Sahor Pa Kaluntang all made first team. Kenny Fuentes, Michael Lake, and Christian Andre made second team all-region. And Andre Raymond made honorable mention. All Maryland JUCO, Yunus Ben Muna, Daniel Juresic, and Zahor Pa Kaluntang all made first team all Maryland JUCO. Kenny Fuentes, Michael Lake, and Andre Raymond all made second team all Maryland JUCO. And Christian Andre made honorable mention. And here's their head coach, Trey Livingston.
So our MVP for this year, our nickname for him, we call him Nurse, is Yunus Ben Muna.
Michael Brown, you forgot to say two-time All-American.
Congratulations on that. I didn't get that note. So congratulations to Eunice. All right. Up next, women's volleyball. And there's no other word for it. 2018 was historic for women's volleyball. It was one of the most exciting seasons of any MC team that I've had the privilege to cover in all my years covering MC athletics. They had the first perfect regular season in the history of the program. 26-0. They had an undefeated Maryland JUCO season, 10-0, and with that perfect record, they won the Maryland JUCO title for the first time in program history. And along the way, they absolutely dominated the stat categories in Maryland JUCO. Kills, blocks, digs, assists, you name the category, they either led or they had 2 or 3 or 4 players in the top 3 or 4 or 5. I mean, it was amazing. So much fun to compile stats on this team. They made the Region 20 finals after straight set wins over Garrett and Hagerstown in the first 2 rounds of the tournament. But when they played Nova in the regional finals, frankly, I don't think they were quite at full strength for that one, and they lost a heartbreaker 3-1, ending a truly storybook season. But after the season they had, they obviously and deservedly dominated the All-Region and All-Maryland JUCO teams. For the All-Region, Anya Chepernova and Isabel Nelligan both made first team. Skylar Thiessen made second team, and Kishana Phoenix made honorable mention. For all Maryland JUCO, Anya Chepernova, Isabel Nelligan, and Skylar Thiessen all made first team. And Kishana Phoenix made second team. So a tremendous season by a tremendous group of young women, and here's their head coach, Tori Keno. The soon-to-be wed Tori Keno.
I just want to thank a couple people. A lot of you were there the whole season and supported us through the whole thing, but I want to especially thank Coach G, Christy, Romy, Michael Brown, and George and Mike. You guys did so much for us the whole year, so I just want to give you all like a little shout out and thanks for all your help. Our MVP for this year was on the all-tournament team at the Howard tournament, our tournament, and the region tournament. She was first team All-Maryland JUCO, first team All-NJCAA, and Maryland JUCO Player of the Month, and that is Anya Chepernova.
All right, now we're going to move on to cheerleading. Now, every year we count on cheerleading to add spirit, excitement, and fun to MC games, and they always deliver. But this year, I think they took it to a whole new level. I mean, I marveled at their athletic ability, their strength, their creativity, and their flexibility. And frankly, when I'm sitting there watching some of their routines, I am literally holding my breath because they look incredibly difficult and frankly a little bit dangerous, but they obviously know what they're doing because they stick it every time. Awesome. So every year, this team seems to take it up another notch, and this year was absolutely no exception. And here's their head coach, Dana Cromer.
Hi, thank you. So every year, like he said, my goal is to make the team get better and improve. And every once in a while, you'll get an athlete that simply understands your mission and helps you accomplish that. This athlete is absolutely amazing on and off the court, and I am so happy to announce that our MVP is Haley Carp.
Haley's the one they toss up in the air all the time. Man, crazy. All right, now we move into our winter sports season and onto the basketball court. First up, men's basketball. Now, it's no secret that men's basketball had a challenging season this year, adjusting to the higher level. And trust me, the difference between D3 basketball and D2 basketball is striking. It's a marked difference. After a great start to the season, the injury bug hit them a little bit, and the last month of the season was really not what they were expecting and hoping for. But the way they look at it, from talking to these guys and knowing them as I do, it was a learning year. It was a year to make adjustments, kind of a reset year. And one thing we know for sure, next year is going to be a big step forward, because nothing motivates like a year that had some bumps in the road. And despite all that, the team took home some well-deserved postseason honors. All region, Vince Rose and Freddie Harris both made second team. And all Maryland JUCO, Vince Rose and Freddie Harris both made honorable mention. And now, here's head coach Keith Bird.
Thank you, Michael. I always appreciate the kind words. I appreciate that. This year we had co-MVPs. The co-MVPs for this year are both Eli Arnold, who will be attending UMBC in the fall, and Vince Rose, who will be attending Southern University in the fall. So thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, now turning to women's basketball. All rise. And as usual, they had a very strong season. They were a young team, but they adjusted very well to playing at a higher level. As usual, they played a very tough schedule, and they had a number of very high-quality wins, especially when they knocked off Chesapeake in the Maryland JUCO quarters. That was a great win. And Frederick in the Region 20 quarters. They finished 17-12 overall, 7-5 in Maryland JUCO, and next year is already looking bright, I'm told, because it looks like you're going to have a strong nucleus coming back and some great recruits coming in. So, after the solid year that they turned in, they received numerous postseason honors. All region. Jordon Odom and Nusaibah Rashad both made first team. Alexis Mack made honorable mention. All Maryland JUCO. Alexis Mack made second team, and Nusaibah Rashad and Jordon Odom both made honorable mention. So congratulations. And now here's head coach and MC Athletic Director Tarla Gasquet.
Good evening. This season was a different season. We had a lot of weird injuries, as my players can attest to. So regardless of all the work that the athletic trainers did, couldn't keep them on the court, but yet and still we did what we needed to do. And I'm proud of what we accomplished. I want to thank my assistant coaches, because without them, when I couldn't make practice, there wouldn't have been practice. We got Coach Schools here, who's really helped me a lot. So we have this year co-MVPs. I'm happy to say they'll be back again next year to make some noise. And they're Nusaibah Rashad and Jordon Odom. A little bit about the two of them. Nusaibah, who was number 24, averaged a double-double. That was 18.5 points per game and 16 rebounds per game. She was second in the country in rebounds per game. She dominated in our Frederick game in the regional playoffs with a season high of 44 points and 37 rebounds. Jordon Odom was also a standout this season and led us in a lot of those games. She averaged 17.6 points per game, 4.4 assists per game, shooting 30% from the three-point range. She was third in the conference in assists and scored a season high of 29 points in 2 games versus Nova and Chesapeake. So I'm looking forward to seeing y'all on the court and in the classroom. Next year.
All right, now we turn to spring. And we still have a lot of spring activity to go. As a matter of fact, 2 of our spring teams are not here tonight because one is in action and one was supposed to be. First up, baseball. Now, unfortunately, they can't be here today because they were supposed to play a doubleheader against Prince George's. Head coach Dan Rasher asked Prince George's to please reschedule the game because of our athletic banquet, but Prince George's refused. And then so some things never change with PG. And then they drive all the way over there to play the doubleheader, and PG says, "Oh, we're not going to play because we're afraid it's going to rain." So those kids lost an opportunity to be here tonight, and that's a shame. What's that? Yeah. So it's unfortunate. Anyway, they are not finished yet. The postseason is up next for them. Right now, they are 19-7 or 17 overall. They're 13-11 in Maryland JUCO, but most importantly, they are 13-7 in Region 20. And that region record is what counts because that will determine their seeding in next week's Region 20 tournament. The way it stands right now, we're a lock for either the 3rd or 4th seed. We have an outside shot at the 2nd seed. If we end up a 3rd or 4th seed, we will host a playoff game, a tournament game, next Tuesday afternoon at 2 o'clock at Germantown. If they win that game, then they will go to the Region 20 Final Four, which will be up at Frederick starting next Friday. And I've been given permission to go up and cover it. I'm happy about that. You guys, some of you guys know what's been going on. Anyway, if they should win the region, then they would actually host the district championship tournament on May 17th through the 18th. So, since they are not here, they have named their team MVP, and it is my pleasure to announce that their team MVP is Cole Wyckoff. Cole's got a special friend at the volleyball table who I'm sure is very, very happy. I know everything. Cole is the starting catcher on the team. He's the team captain, and he's a natural great leader. He's hitting .294 on the year. He has 20 RBIs, an on-base percentage of .467, and he's a great handler of pitchers. So congratulations to Cole. It is very well deserved. And of course, their postseason honors haven't been announced yet because they're still playing. So let's wish them all, they're not here, but let's wish them and root for them next week starting in the Region 20 tournament. I'm on your list. All right, let's keep it on the diamond. Up next, women's softball. Now, to be honest, it was a tough year for women's softball. But I'll tell you what, this team played hard. They played with a lot of spirit. They gave it everything they had. But frankly, playing at the D2 level was a tough adjustment. The results that they hoped for and that they worked hard for, they didn't quite come around for them. But we are very proud of these student athletes. They never hung their heads, they never quit. They played hard, and believe me, we all appreciate your effort and your work ethic. And they had they had some outstanding numbers. Samantha Nelson led the team in batting average, hitting .423. Catherine Mabry, whose sister played basketball here, by the way, was second at .409. Abby Kitchell was a star on the mound again this year. She started 9 games. She was 12th in Maryland JUCO in strikeouts, and she also hit .360. And now here's their head coach, Jennifer Edwards.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you so much for all your support. I want to also thank our staff, Coach G, of course, thank you so much for your support. George, Michael, Carrie, and the athletic trainers, thank you so much. Sherry, thank you for your work. Romy, everybody loves you. You're the best. Thank you so much. You make being out at the ball field lots of fun. I just wanted to say, these girls, they're a really great group of girls, and they persevered through a lot. We could have easily just dropped a club, and they fought really hard to stay in D2, stay in the conference, and I'm really proud of them for what they did. We succumbed to more injuries this season than I've ever seen, and there was really nothing that we can do. So thank you to a couple of our soccer players, Delmy and V, for stepping up and coming out and helping us out too. You guys should be standing. Yeah, there you go. All right, so our MVP, she actually was MVP last year as well, which is probably no surprise. Abby Kitchell, she is a player who, she's not here tonight, but she's a player who doesn't know 90%. She plays at 110% all the time and has a passion for the game that is contagious. And I'm really proud of her. She's come a long way academically as well. So again, Abby Kitchell, MVP. I forgot to thank my assistant coaches, Dan Glassen. Couldn't have done it without you. And Lou Bell, he's not here. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Coach. Now let's move on to track and field. And as I mentioned earlier, they are not here tonight. They are currently competing in a meet at the University of Maryland. So unfortunately, they could not be here tonight. So I'm standing in for their head coach, Sean Shannon, and his assistants, former MC athlete Sheldon Wilson, Chris Sloan, Kevin Dominique, and still involved with track, even though he's transitioned back to basketball, Jamal School. Now, this team has competed in some very competitive meets this year, consistently going up against a field of four-year schools, not just two-year schools, but four-year schools. 2 weeks ago, I had the privilege of covering them at the Morgan State Legacy Meet. They took on a field of well over 20 schools, the vast majority of which were four-year schools. And MC finished 9th overall the only two-year school to crack the top 10. And this past weekend, the men's 4x100 meter relay team went up to the historic Penn Relays in Philadelphia, and they qualified for the finals. The only two-year school out of the field to accomplish that. And if you're not familiar with the Penn Relays is the oldest track meet in the United States, and it draws teams from all over, West Coast, South, all the top teams are there. Our team finished 6th overall in the 4x1 with a time of 42:47. So today they're at Maryland, and they're trying to qualify athletes for the D1 National Championships. Track is another sport where there is no D2 at the NJCAA level. There's only D1 and D3, so they are competing. What they're trying to do is they have to achieve qualifying times and distances for D1, and it's difficult. It's a lot harder than it was at the D3 level, right, Coach? A lot harder. So they are there. They have several athletes that are very close, and we are wishing them well and hoping that, you know, maybe they stretch the budget a little bit and have to send a couple of athletes to New Mexico, because that's where D1 Nationals are. So I won't be able to go on that trip, I have a feeling. So anyway, since they can't be here tonight, it is my pleasure to announce their team MVPs for both the women's team and the men's team. We have co-MVPs. For the women, the choices are Taylor Washington, and Taylor does a lot of throwing events, but she's also amazingly fast and runs in a couple of the relays. And Blossom Akpedeye, who is a sprinter for the Raptors and on the relay teams. And both of them have scored a lot of points for the team this year. And then for the men's team, the co-MVPs are Alan Seary. Alan is a distance runner, a captain, and an overall team leader. And Lance Wilson Jr., who was on that 4x1 team that I just talked about that went to the Penn Relays. He also runs the 1, the 2, and the 4x4. So those are your men's MVPs for track. All right, now we're going to move behind the scenes, and I hope everyone in this room is aware that it would not be possible for MC to put on athletic events if we didn't have a dedicated team of student workers. Believe me, I've been to a ton of events this year, indoor, outdoor, rain, snow, sleet, tropical temperatures in the gym, you name it. Anybody that's been in that gym in October knows what I'm talking about. You know that we could not put these events on without a dedicated team of student workers. You name it, they do it, and our athletic program would be lost without them. So I'd like to thank all of our student workers and have every student worker who is here with us tonight, please stand so we can thank you for your hard work. All right, now it's time to announce our outstanding student worker for the past year, and this year's awardee is Ricardo Griffiths. Come on up, Ricardo. Ricardo began working with athletics right before the basketball season. It took him 1 quarter into his first home game to master and flawlessly operate the shot clock. And he continued to do that for the entire season, including tournaments and doubleheaders. In addition to basketball, Ricardo has been a constant and consistent presence at our other athletic events, always willing to help in any capacity. He never misses a game and always asks for additional assignments. Thank you for all your help this past year, and we look forward to having you back next year. Those of you who do not know, that is George Zuniga, and he runs the student worker program, among many other duties. Other duties as assigned, right, Michael? All right, now we've reached the ultimate moment of our program. We are just seconds away from finding out who will be our male and female student athletes of the year. Here's MC Athletic Director Tarla Gasquet to announce our honorees.
Okay. Our female student athlete of the year is Ariella Amaguana. A little bit about Ariella. She came to us from Sherwood High School, played a very excellent season, her first season, fell short academically second season, but she hung in there. So she couldn't play the second season. She took care of the classroom, which, you know, that's all we can ask, and really excelled in the classroom and was prepared for this year and really showed out. She statistically had 15 goals and 16 assists in her freshman year, 26 goals and 13 assists in her sophomore year. She was ranked 12th in the nation for goals scored per game. Ariella has shown persistence and focus on her academics while being an awesome soccer player. She's not only an amazing player, but a wonderful teammate and captain. She worked very hard as a leader this season on and off the field. Her kindness graced everyone she came in contact with. And as her coach says, although we're saddened to see her leave, we know that she's contributed more than what her team asked her to do during her career at Montgomery College. She was named to Region 20 All-Region First Team, and she'll continue her academic and soccer career at Washington Adventist University. Let me get in the box. Okay, now our male student athlete of the year. This one goes to Yunus Benmona.
You're welcome.
Yunus comes to us from Northwest High School. Statistically, he had 21 goals and 19 assists in his freshman year, and 23 goals and 15 assists in his sophomore year. He was ranked 3rd in the nation for points scored this year and 6th in the country for assists. Yunus is a natural leader, one of his team's captains both years, and sacrificed a lot by taking extra classes just to be able to play on the soccer team. See, in the nursing program, 9 credits is full-time. So he had to take an extra 3 credits each semester to be eligible. He has a cumulative GPA of 3.4 while in an intensive nursing program and playing 2 seasons with the men's soccer program. Eunice takes his studies seriously and has shown again that he moves to playing at the next level, what it means to be a student first when we talk about student athletes. Now, Eunice had many offers from what I understand. We had West Virginia Tech, Shepherd, Belmont Abbey, East Oregon University, UDC, Howard, UMBC, Butler, Bowling Green, and a few other three or four NCAA D1 programs. But he chose to commit to Frostburg State because it would give him the best academic scheme for his nursing program. He showed a lot of discipline and has been a true student athlete. Eunice lives in Germantown. He drove to Tacoma to go to classes, drove here for practice, and still took care of his business. Thank you, Eunice.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Here you go. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to take a quick minute to thank every one of you for coming. I want to thank my staff, all of my coaches. I'm very fortunate when you hear about these records and the things that have been accomplished by these teams, they couldn't have been done without good coaches. So I'm very thankful for the coaching staff and for my staff in general, for Romy, for Michael Brown. I don't know what we'd do without you. These students, a lot of them use your film, your video to get recruited. Athletic training. Sherry, I don't know how you do it. There's so much to balance every day. So George and Michael, we got a small group, but we get it done. And I really want to thank you all for everything that you do. There's one person that I actually want to thank that's been kind of a member of our staff this year, and it's Bailey Hill. Can you please stand? So Bailey has been a student intern with our athletic trainers this year. She's worked with every sport team here, sometimes even traveling to away games to help out. She's been a tremendous help to the program while learning and gaining experience in the field of athletic training. She's a Montgomery County product, a graduate of Churchill High School. Received a dual bachelor's degree from the University of Southern California, a Bachelor of Science in Human Biology, and a Bachelor of Arts in Spanish, studying at the USC Madrid Center while studying abroad. She will be leaving us in a few weeks, unfortunately, to begin her postgraduate studies in a dual degree program at Shenandoah University, and I understand there's only a handful of those programs in the country. She was one of 5 students to be granted acceptance into that program and will be earning her doctorate of physical therapy and master's of athletic training. We will definitely miss you. Thank you so much. And now I ask Dr. Brown to come and give some closing remarks.
Good evening. Good evening. So as I sat here tonight, thinking about this year of athletic play, I'm reminded that a dream delayed is not necessarily a dream denied. I would say some 10 plus years ago, a college-wide group of individuals came together and dreamed of the day when we would have one college athletic program, one college-wide athletic director, and we would become an athletic scholarship offering institution. You all are the promise of that dream fulfilled. So I want to extend my thanks in her absence. She was here earlier, but this would not have happened, could not have happened without Dr. Darian Pollard's outstanding, her support for athletics and all things student success related, her support for our interest and desire of becoming a scholarship offering institution. I'll just tell this quick story as I thank Tarlo, Coach G, for her outstanding persistence and advocacy. She would not let us rest until it was done for this year. And Dr. Pollard, who was 12 in a different time zone, it was a 12-hour difference, and we were sending documents back and forth in order to meet the deadline date to declare ourselves and to declare our intent to become a D1, D2 scholarship offering athletic program. So again, thanks to Dr. Pollard. Thank you to Coach G, our outstanding athletic director, to Dr. Clemmy Solomon, who serves as the college-wide Dean for Athletics, and to all who support our student scholars and our athletic programs. There are a number of people here, I won't start naming you, but you have a cohort of fans at Montgomery College who cheer you on whether we're in the stands or not. We're here to support you, and thank you for all that you do. I'm going to take my seat. Good night to one and all.
And with that, we say good night and thank you all for coming. We really appreciate it. Great year. I know the staff probably doesn't feel this way, but I'm ready for 2019 and 20 season to start tomorrow. Night, everybody.